All right, class, this is base 16, right? So the concept is still there. It's just that 16 is probably a little bit more complicated for you to think about. But the multiplication area model still works the same way. So you will have this right here, and you'll have A00, 30, and then 5. And that is going to make this number right here, A35. Okay, we cannot write 10 for A, even though we think A is 10, we cannot write 10. Because really, if you write 10 in base 16, then that really means one group of 16 and 0 single, right? So you cannot write that, that notation for A. A is A. It's its own thing, right? And it is understood to be 10 in our English common language. Okay, so, and then the multiply by E, 6E, so you will have 6 in the second digit, placeholder 0, and then you will have E. Okay, so now we need to go ahead and do 3 by 2, so 6 smaller sub problems. Okay, so we will first do A times 6, right? Because you can see here that this will have 1, 2, 3, 0. And the question is, what is A times 6, right? So that would be 6 copies of A. 6 times A, it's A. 6 times A is A plus A plus A plus A, and there are 6 copies. Okay, so we would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, right? So this A, how many more will A need to get to 16? Because when we are adding in base 16, or when we are counting in base 16, we need to make groups of 16, right? So your alphabets or your numerals for base 16 is 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on up to 9. And then A, that would be 10, B, C, D, I just said D, I wrote E, D, E, right? So let's count again. A is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then F represents 16. 15, I mean. Okay, so how many more to A will make a group of 16? Well, you would need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 6 more will make a full group of 16. So if I take this A and give 6 to here, I will have 4 left. Then I take this A, give 6 to here, I will have 4 left. Okay, then I will take this right here, or let's say I will take this A right here and give 6 to here. I will have 4 left. So what is the leftover part right there? That would be 4, 4, and 4, 3 groups of 4, that is 12, but how do we write 12 in base 16? That's 10, 11, 12. This would be C. And how many full group of 16? 3. So this right here is A times 6 is 3C. Okay, so let's go back to our problem. We would say, well, I have A times 6 is 3C. So I would write 3C right there. Okay, now next I have 6 0 times 3 0. Well, I would have 2 zeros as my placeholder. And then I would have to think, what is 6 multiplied by 3? Well, 6 times 3, if you really want to go to base 10 and think of it in base 10, 6 times 3 is 18. That would be one group of 16 and 2 singles, right? Or you can just think about it like this again. 6 times 3 is the same as 3 times 6, which is 3 groups of 6, right? So this right here is already 12, but I need to make groups of 16, so I need 4 from here and 2 here. So then this right here make one full group of 16 and 2 singles. So this, what I am writing right here would be 6 times 3 is 1, 2, or I would write here 1, 2, 0, 0. Make sense? Okay, same concept. We would say 6 times 5. I have one placeholder, 1, 0. What is 6 times 5? Again, that would be 6 times 5 is the same as 5 times 6, or we would say 5 groups of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so remember that was 2 6 would be 12. I need a 4 to make a full group of 16. Okay, and I have 2 left right here. And so one full group of 16, and this is 14, right? So that would be one full group of 16. And how do we write 14 in base 16? Well, let's go back to our numerals here. We would say A is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 14 is E. So we would say 6 times 5 is 1 E. So then we'll go back to our multiplication problem. 6 times 5 is 1 E. And then you have the 0 right there. Okay. Now, same concept here. We would say E times A. Wow, that is a big job, right? E times A. A is like 10 and E is 14, right? So I'm gonna make some room right here so I can write. Let's give it some room. Okay, so E times A. Let's take a look. E times A. That is 10 groups of 14. Okay, so let's think about having 10 E. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so each one of these E will need 2 to make 16, right? Remember, your numerals are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then A, B, C, D, E, F, where E is right here, which represents 14 dots, if you can visualize 14 dots, right? So if I was to make groups of 16, each one of these E will need 2 more. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. I just used up that one E right there. Okay, so I have, and then this one E right here is going to need a 2 to make a full group of 16. So this, I'm going to take that 2 from here, right? So that E is going to have, I give 2 to this E right here, so there's 2 less. So 1 less, 2 less, so that would be C. Overall, I have 1 full group, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 full groups of 16 and 1 C left over. So A times E is equal to 8C. All right, so let's go back to our problem here. A times E is 8C. So I have 8C, and I have 2 zeros as my placeholders. Okay, and then E times 3, that's a 0 as a placeholder. Now the question is, if I only had 3 groups of E, how much would that be? Okay, how much would that be? Well, let's go and do some computation here. Let's think about it the same way as you did with the earlier process, except for now you only have 3E. Okay, so 3E times 3 is 3 copies of E. Okay, and each one of the E will need 2 more to make full groups of 16. So I'll need 2 here, I'll need 2 here, right? And I'm gonna have to take those 2 and 2, meaning I would have to take 4 from E. So take 4 from E, meaning to go backward. 1, 2, 3, 4. I am at A. So here I have 1 full group of 16, 2 full groups of 16, and A. So that would be 2A. Okay, so E times 3 is 2A. Let's go back. This right here is 2A, 0. Now E times 5, let's do that one more time with the E, except for now you have how many copies? 5. 5 copies of E. Okay, so you have 5 copies of E. Let's do that one more time here. E times 5 is 5 copies of E. Multiplication is repeated addition. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 copies of E. Okay, again, each one of these E is going to need 2 more to make a full group of 16. Okay, so what is left once you take it from here? Remember, E is like 14, and take away 2, 4, 6, 8, you are going to have 6 left. Okay, so I would say this right here, 5 times E is 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 groups of 16 and 6 singles. Let's go back to our problem, to our problem here. E times 5 is, we said, 4, 6. So this here is going to be 4, 6. All right, so now what you'll need to do to finish this problem is to line them up and add them straight down. And remember, when you are adding, you will be making groups of 16. All right, so let's see if you can finish this problem on your own.